17 for the confirmation. All good. Let's go. All right, let me share my screen. And before I dive deep within Bitcoin, I want to visit a question that Gary had. Let me know if I get the question right first. Okay? Let me just pick whatever, just not to confuse. Let's go with just. Perfect. Let's bring it up. And I think you were talking about how big, right, should a wick be to be considered a wick, right? A wick candle, like this one, right? Was that your question? Hey, Alex, how's it going, brother?
What's going on, bro?
Not much. Oh man, how was your
Must be
morning?
hard waking up looking that good, bro.
I appreciate you, my friend. Did you catch the pump?
Bro,
Well,
I don't know. Today's all fucking jibber jabber. Everybody, Donald Trump talked this morning. Now Kevin Warsh is talking on CNBC. It's nonstop, man. Just these politicians,
oh yeah,
all these liars. I mean, not politicians.
for sure. So let me just finish up with a little question that Gary had, and let me pass it over to you then. So Gary was asking, like, how big does a candle wick needs to be, compared to the candle to be a weak candle? I estimate, and there's no written rule, but I estimate in between 50% of the full candle. Like, let's just say that you have the full body candle. Let's go like this, right? And then the wick that it's in the middle, if I can do that in the middle, yeah, I think that will be it. Needs to be for myself or for me to consider it twice, I mean, the same size as the body. So for me, that already is telling me that we have a 50% retracement on the candle, making this a weak candle, if that makes sense. So 50% of the overall, or twice, or the same as the body, right? The body could be at the bottom or the top, it doesn't matter. Uh, just to make things clear, what I'm trying to say is that the wick needs to be the same size as the body. So, what do you think? Do you have any specifics on that question, Alex, or do you look for at least the same parameters?
Um, yeah, no, for sure. It's one it's time based, right? What time frame are you on, right?
Right.
Specifically, right? You should always have like a macro time frame, uh, a bias time frame, a trend time frame, and then an entry time frame, right? So for me, I trade on the 3 minute. I have a bias on the 15 minute, and then I use the hourly, right? And then obviously you want to understand where the daily is and stuff like that for your macro trend. But it's, are you gonna nitpick and pick a wick on the 23 minute because it's halfway of the candle, right? Uh, right. It's time specific. Like if you go on the hourly right now, you have a massive wick to the upside twice, right? And on Bitcoin. Does that
Oof.
mean it's weak? Potentially, right? Potentially, right? But it's 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 also important of where does that wick occur, right? Is it occurring in an
Yes, for
order
sure.
block? Is it occurring in a Fibonacci level? Is it right? So like weakness is only weakness, right? Depending on the area, right?
For
You're
sure.
gonna say that a candle's weak when you get a little wick up when it's ripping to the upside. I would say it's still strong. I say it's pushing liquidity higher, right? If you get a sweep down and it grabs liquidity and it pushes up, that big wick down might be strength, right? It might be buyers pushing price higher, right? It might be sellers stepping up to short the price down. Exhaustion, right? Exhaustion in the highs, right? No follow through, right? These are the things that I look at in order to justify what the candles are telling me, right? The candles will tell you the story. Um, but if you don't learn how to read them correctly and know how to mark out your charts correctly, you're going to be reading them. It's like reading a Spanish book and you speak English, man. I have fucking no idea. I see cerveza, Mexican tacos. That's all I see, right?
A chica bonita,
Whereas
right?
you give me some, you give me some English, we talking, right? We talking,
Yes.
right? But if I go anti-disestablishmentarianism and then I ask OC to say that, he's going to have a little bit of trouble, right?
Oh, for sure. I cannot even remember what
Right?
you just said. Yes.
Anti
Anti
disestablishmentarianism.
disestablishment materialism. And anti-establishment materialism. Or
This is what we used to say when we were kids, man.
oh man,
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
holy shit! I need to practice that one. I'm gonna.
There's
press
a
some
fucking
friends with
mouthful
that
for
one.
you, bro.
It
Right?
is. Oh, absolutely. And I
Right?
think what you just mentioned, because I was preparing for something, you always come up with another very important thing that you mentioned, which is it's not the candle itself, it is the pattern in the candles, right? And if I don't recall incorrectly, because this is one of the things that I like the most. It's not the thing that I like the most, but one of the things that I like the most about your strategy or the things that you look at since we've been working together is that you look for big candles, right? So big candle, small candle with a big wick, and then another big candle. And usually that tends to
Mhm.
go as a reversal, right? And
Yeah.
before I pass it over to you for that one, because you're the expert in this one, that's what I wanted to touch on, like the positioning, right? Where is that pattern playing out? For example, I want to show you two of those, Garrett. For this one, that it's almost the same one, right? And there another one right here, right? So one was a continuation, another one also was a continuation, and the other one, well, it fluke, right? It did continue, but didn't fluke. And that has to do where it's located. If it's somewhere in the bottom or somewhere where we have strength, it's a continuation, but it's not just the wick. It is those three body candles, right? And well, as we're getting closer to a big resistance, we get a rejection instead. And also, the candle pattern, or I mean, I want to talk first about the candle pattern, the big downwards, the small candle with a big wick, and then the big candle. So basically, this pattern, which is much more powerful than the wick candle itself, right? So if we're talking to something more powerful, it needs to be on the right place for it to play it out, and it's not the only thing that we're looking for, right? And I know you know the drill, Gary, right? Which is not concentrate on one single thing, but I also see a couple of new faces. So I wanted to go over that. One more thing before I pass it over to you, Alex. It's, for example, this other one right here. This might not look right now as a weak candle, but I can see a small body candle and a big retracement, which means if I go from 30 minutes to the 2 hours, because those are two candles, let's find that little arrow. And I guarantee you, there it is, that there is kind of like, well, it wasn't actually, oh yeah, it is twice as big of the body, right? So it is a weak candle. And as you can see, big body, weak candle, big-ish body, right? And then the three on the support makes that run up once again. So yeah, I mean, let me drop this for now, and let me ask you about that part of your strategy. You usually look for a couple of patterns of reversal patterns for candles, don't you, Alex? If I'm not mistaken, of
Yeah, I
course.
have like 4 or 5 candles that I trade specifically. Okay. Uh, at the end of the day, it's not a secret, but what it is like if I have a candle pattern, okay, very simply, um, and it is in the middle. I say in the middle of the African desert. Okay, in the middle of nowhere, right? If there's no, if I have this beautiful fucking pattern and it's in the middle of nowhere, right? It's not at a key level, it's not a key area. It's in the middle of the African desert, right? You're stranded. You're doing the This is the GIF I use. This one right here is you're stranded. You know, you don't know where, right? So you're typically looking for indecision, right? So you want to see the market making indecision. That's the doji candle. This is a hammer candle. This is a hanging man candle, which is this in the opposite direction. This is a shooting star candle, but with a very small body, which means that the market hasn't decided in direction. It doesn't have a direction. Okay? Then you also want to see strength in candles or weakness in candles, right? This is generally how you look for it, right? So if you see big red fucking candle, it doesn't mean sell. It says that there's strength in the move. If you say big green candle, it doesn't mean buy. This is where you get wrecked, okay? Retail buys big green candles. Okay, there's only one guy in this world I know who can buy green candles and make money. His name is OC. Okay? Okay? If you bought, let's just look at it. If you bought big green candle, 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 big green candle. What should you be doing with big green candles? Can we all say we should be shorting big green candles, right? Right? Because it's doing a job. You're late to the party. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to be early to the party, right? So when we see indecision big green candle, so combo candles, right? Indecision big green candle, I buy that candle. Look at that. Boom. I make money, right? Indecision big red candle, I can sell this candle. Look, I make money, right? Now, if the move is happening and I want to jump on, well, what am I looking for? Retest, continuation, indecision, big green candle, continuation trade. Okay? Half the time, big green candles retrace 50% in the opposite direction. That is also one of my trade setups, right? It's called halfway down the candle, continuation trade. So you get a big green candle. This next candle, the open here, comes halfway down the candle, tappy tappy, and continues in the same direction. And you get nice big wick energy here, okay? This is one of my trade setups that I take quite often. This is a continuation trade. You get big green candle, you open up, you come back down, you retest halfway down the candle, you continue in the direction of that big green candle. Something I trade quite often. I also trade a 3-pattern candle. This is called a wick test, okay? So you have a bunch of green candles here, okay? You have a wick here, and it's a 3-pattern candle. This is getting complicated now, right, guys? And you look for this to test the previous wick of the first candle, okay? This one, if you're good at this one, I'm telling you, this makes me a lot of money if you know how to trade this one. It's called a wick test. It works in both directions, okay? And all it is a three candle pattern, right? Where the price is coming back and retesting that wick, okay? You can find it in uptrends. You can find it in downtrends. It's very, very effective, okay? If I can find you guys one if you want to see it. Here's one. Perfect bottoming structure. Okay. You see how nice that is? This is money making machine. Who doesn't like this thing? Right? Okay. That's a wick test. Look, the opposite direction right here. Here's a wick test. Short. Very cheap, effective trade. Here it is again. I can find them everywhere, guys. Okay. The thing that I said, and the most important thing that I've said, is the context of the trade. Why is this one so fucking good? Okay. And I do believe I longed this. I longed right here, guys, because I took the VWAP slap. That was yesterday. I made like $800 on this trade yesterday. Okay. But why is this so effective, right? It's because this isn't taking a random long in a random area, right? I'm not taking a wick test in the middle of nowhere. We got a clear swing failure pattern. We got VWAP holding, right? So you come down, you swing the low, you hold VWAP right here, and you go. Valid long trades. I'm not taking a wick test after we've blasted off to the top here, right? I'm taking wick tests after we've had the reaction for longs, right? So if we're talking about currently where we are right now, right? We need to be specific on what I'm looking for. So having that top-down analysis when we come into our trading, right? Golden pocket rejection, sweep down, swept the lows, continuation down, right? Where's our wick test? Where's our continuation trade, right? Okay. Hammer candle, right? Shooting star, weakness, strength, down. Look, you sell that candle, down we go, right? Retest of previous lows, continuation down, okay? Bullish engulfing candle, sweep of a key level, right? So you can long this, sweep of a key level, bullish engulfing candle, continuation long there. Guess what? I longed that, okay? You don't believe me? I can show you. Because I always show. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. There's my entry and the continuation trade right there. Okay, I just took that trade. Then I started teaching with OC, right? Which is good because I went stop loss to entry and made the money. Okay,
Nice.
right? Failing to push. Failing to push. Engulfing candle, right? Failing to push. Engulfing candle. This is weakness. Am I going to sell the bottom though? Is this a good place for a short? Yes or no? I would say no. I'd say we are at the low, right? This is where I should be looking for longs. Remember hot dog. Where's the hot dog here, guys? The hot dog's right here. We want to buy low and sell high, right? We don't want to participate in the hot dog area, right? Are we in a downtrend? Well, yes, we are. We go into a 15-minute time frame. We have mitigated the low this morning. We have golden pocket SFP, right? What do we have? We have a break of the low. We have bearish divergence double top. We have a golden pocket tracement level, and we have lost the lows down here. We are in a downtrend. Okay, where's our targets? Right? Did we sweep the liquidity of this low? Yes. Can we be potentially looking for longs? Yes. What do we need to see? Structure. Right? Because we're still in a downtrend. Okay, so you got to be able to put the pieces of the pie together, right? So that you can protect yourself, right? We got bull divs in here, SFP of the low. Is this a bullish area? Yes. Can we get going? Potentially. But right now, expectational order flow is low, high. We're looking for a higher low, continuation up, right? However, we have a mitigation here, right? If you don't know how to look for this stuff, put on your chart prime indicator. It'll make your candles all pretty. Right? We can go in a 5-minute time frame. We can see that we mitigated the low and changed character here. Okay? Very simple. Right? So we are in a downtrend. We are in an uptrend. Right? So what do we need to see? This high needs to be taken. Higher high, higher low. Continuation up. That's where we look for longs. Here. Not here. Not here. We're looking for retracement dump. Okay, so putting that all together, right? You can use the tools here provided for you guys. You guys got all the tools in the world. Okay, your chart doesn't need to look like this. But I'm telling you, you use the tools correctly, you can be effective with them. You want to pick generally 3, in my opinion. Okay, and build rules around that trading strategy. Okay, it's nice to sweep and go. Are we going to go? We'll see, right? Your oscillator says we're still bottoming out. A little bit of exhaustion right now, clipping on the lower time frames. Bullish divergence trying to print right now, right? You're trying to print the bull div here, higher low, right? You're trying to do this right now. What's better, in my opinion? 3-minute break of structure, continuation up. With the confidence of maybe we get the bull divs here. Okay? But plan your trades, execute with good risk management, and that's how I do it. Okay, overall picture on Bitcoin. Well, we had Donald Trump speak today. Same shit, different day. Okay, he's just, I'm looking for $80,000 right now. $80,000 is the yearly pivot. Looking to defend 73, major support at 72. Volume 72. 73, 500. 74,000. Okay, let's call it 74,000. Okay. Target 80 and retest to previous lows around 84. Okay. This is where we're at. Big uptrend, continuation here. Can we get going? Everybody getting a little bit too bullish up here. Okay. Looking for corrective price action because of a big imbalance down here to potentially push us higher. But for now, looking for correction. We'll see if we get it. Okay. Orange Man tweets. We'll see if we get some sort of downtrending. That would be ideal. Okay. That's the plan right now. If we get acceptance below 71, we're coming to the lows. That's my opinion. Minimum 67. If we get acceptance below 71. Right now, holding strong. Big imbalance down below here. This is like a kill zone in my opinion. This is where I want to see if we come into here and we get structure change, I'm giga long. If we continue to push here, higher high, higher low, I can jump on the trend, no problem. Okay, very simple. Don't need to complicate it, right? Look at our uptrend. Here's our uptrend, right? Trying to defend this higher low right now. We'll see if we do want to go. If we lose this, then we look to rotate down into here minimum. And hopefully this shelf of volume holds us up. That's my plan.
Nice.
And OC is hanging out with Vitalik.
Not just yet. We have a meeting soon. No, just kidding. We have plans for dinner. Netflix and chill, right? Nah, just kidding. So I do have a little bit of the same in here. Let me just go over it really quickly, 30 minutes. I'm not going to waste your time with the same analysis. But we have a breakout. We have a big body candle, big wick right down here. We have a retracement on our long. Just so you know, I'm already out of this long. I'm looking for one of two 30 minutes possible retracement or bounced. I believe it's going to be a retracement because we are below the zero line. Yes, we were below the zero line in here, but also we did not that much of a wicking action or indecision candle like we have right now. If we go to the 4 hours really quickly, we have two main trend lines. Let me just start cleaning things up, cleaning my mess. So this already played out. It was this peak and this other peak. So let's just get rid of this. Also get rid of that. Get rid of this. And yeah, let's get rid of that. So the only thing that is worrying me at this moment is this pivot that we are creating. We technically are creating a lower high. We did not create a lower low. All right, so we're still on the safe zone, which means we either create, most likely right now, we create a triangle, or last but not least, less possible, we create the lower low in here. If that happens, I believe that then we can start seeing into a trickling downwards movement and then turning back mainly bearish on the 4 hour. But so far, so good. At this moment, I'm just waiting for the market to decide what's going to do because it's pointing to the upside. So most likely, I'm looking for a rebound somewhere around 75, 74, 900, or somewhere around that area. Even maybe stretching to dynamic reactor, but that will be creating a lower low on the micro 4 hour trend. Let's go really quickly to TRX. TRX, I had a hit yesterday, but also I am into a long right now. Yesterday we were talking about breaking out of that dynamic reactor, being below the zero line. Perfect. I was looking for a breakout retest downward continuation. Let's leave that. Let me just get the duplicate out of the picture. Right there. And I did engage on a short position. Where did I jump in? I jumped in somewhere around there, right after this day end reversal. So basically the next candle. Let me just move it. There we go. And my stop loss was at the previous high, somewhere around here. What happened? Barely on profits. Then created a bearish divergence. I was thinking that we're gonna make it. And then when we start creating a higher high right here, well, then it was gone. Just so you know, I got out somewhere in the middle of the night when it was hitting, basically at the same time as I was entering 7 in the morning. So when I woke up, I saw that I was basically out because of my alert. And then, well, back above dynamic reactor, back above the zero line, and then green reactor. I took the risk because my clean entry was somewhere around here, which I decided not to take because when we make the analysis, it was already a little bit too late. So right now, I enter right after breaking through that dynamic reactor on the green oscillator, and we are creating a goose head. Goose head usually means little retracement. So little retracement. I think we're gonna get very close to our entry point. Farther move to the upside, maybe to the previous high, right? And that's why I have my taking profit somewhere around 0.3329, and then bigger retracement. So that also falls in line with this new trend line that we formed overnight under 30 minutes. You see that we could cap another retest somewhere around there. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go for my alert of taking profits. And despite I just place it, and if this thing wants to actually place it, I'll be happy. Let's just and once again, there you go. It is not at the very top. I want to get alerted a little bit before, right? Somewhere around those areas to have enough time just to go over and take a look at when am I taking those profits exactly. Another one that I'm looking at, it's TAO. On TAO, I was looking for a dead cat bounce or a retracement up to this trend line or to create that trend line. And that is because we have a big ass trend line on the 4 hour. We fall short from that, but we had a double top. Very important. This is nothing like outstanding or anything like that. And that is because we're still within the same range that we defined it, right? So we basically did not broke the range. So right now we have the breakout. Right now we're going for the retest, right? So I'll be looking for a possible short right at this area to then go find the bottom of the range. Just be careful on this short. And that is because we can still break back inside of this trend line. So keep an eye on that. And finally, I want to go over silver. So silver, let's see how that played out from yesterday's. But and if you guys jump within that trade, look at that. So we're going for the retracement. Okay, look at that. So a little range or even the sweep down, down. And very important, we are having right now a red candle. What does that mean? Look at, for example, right here when we were flat and then we start having some red candles or red candles, we might start changing or shifting direction. So how am I going to be trading this? Very simple. I am going to be going for a long, not exactly there. Let me bring up the rest of my volume indicators and let's see where do I have the rest of my support, right? So the rest of the support, it's all the way down there. I do have dynamic reactor, so I am going to go for the dynamic reactor basically right now, right after the class, if I still have the chance. I'm going to grab this long position, and this is going to be a small half of an entry. Oh, come on, don't do that. There you go. Let me block that. And my taking profits is going to be the previous high somewhere around here, and aiming for second profit at the top somewhere around there. If I go lower, I will be looking for this area right there, not only because we have a predetermined spike, but also it is because we have a loud order block at that same zone. All right, so I'd rather get out of this position and re-enter if I need to. But so far, almost with the flip of the ribbon at support, I am willing to take the silver risk right now, but only with half of a position. Let's go take a look at XRP. XRP, we are still on gains from yesterday, 30 minutes straight. All right. And I want to mention that I want to go and take a look at and take some profits out right now. Well, not right now. After the flip of the ribbon, all right. So I do see that we did not make it through here, right? We should have another bounce somewhere around that same area. I'm gonna be trying to get out of this trade, 50% out, and moving my stop to entry. And then whatever it needs to do, I'm gonna let it run. Most likely, I'm going to be looking for a short also at that area if I reject from the zero line on my oscillator. So far, so good. I'm not really diving too much into anything else. Another one that I keep an eye on, it is AAL, and let's go American Airlines because I was looking for a possible short, and also light. So light, which is Lumentum. Remember that we had an open trading here. We already have taken at least 50% out. And I was telling you guys that if you wanted to jump back in on the breakout structure, breakout retest, that was your opportunity, right? But we are right now having a big body candle to the downside, which is not much to worry about, all right? And that is because look at the amount of volatility that we have, but it is starting to rise some concerning patterns like a double top or a lower high, right? So we are right now not in trouble or anything like that. We're just waiting and standing by to see what's going to happen. All right, so keep our eyes on this one. If we range for a little bit more, and we're gonna be looking for the flip of the ribbon, but instead of right down there, we're gonna be looking at somewhere above that zero line right now. So update on that one. Then coherent is another one that we've been talking about, right? We have an inverted head and shoulder, especially on the 4 hours. Let's go for that one. There it is. We have our breakouts, and hopefully you guys did catch this entry. All right, we're talking about that one, right? And I already have taken 50% out on the previous high. All right, and right now we're in profits. We still have that same big body candle going downwards. I'm gonna adjust this trend line right now like this, and I'm going to be looking for that trend line to be hit. So I'm going to add an alert to that trend line. All right, let's create an alert. Whenever that trend line gets hit, I'm going to be taking another 50% out, leaving me with the last 25% of the full trade in, and then just standing by for whatever it needs to do. I want to go over a sec before I throw it back to you, Alex. Where is it? I believe that's almost at the end. Yeah, here it is. I want to go over a sec because we were talking about a possible huge bullish flag, especially on the daily. Let's go to the daily, look at that bullish flag. All right. So at this moment, we already have the first bounce. And if we go to the 4 hour, we have broken the trend line. Let me just clear things out in here. All right. Very important before I remove my indicators, look at the loud indicator that we're bouncing from, which means that we could be rejected and going lower. So be careful with the reaction. Okay, I want to see money flow coming back above the zero line, and for me, that will be my next entry. Maybe a breakout structure to take some profits up in there. So longing this somewhere around there. If you haven't, all right, That's gonna be my entry. Stop loss right there. Give myself that wiggle room and aiming for the next high order block or in between those two order blocks. We'll see how that goes. I will be quick to change my mind on SEC, just like I was quick to change my mind. Where was it? On TRX from short. Let's go visit that from short to long. All right. So I advise you to do the same thing. Do not stick with old data. If you see things are changing, change with it. All right. Don't just marry whatever was in front of you at that time. So yeah, that's what I get. Thank you. Thank you. So guys, I don't know if you have any questions. I think this will be a good time to do some Q&A. We still have 5 more minutes to go. So if you're new and you're a little bit lost or want to have any insights of anything, please let us know. Or if you're a veteran and you want us to touch on any other topic, also let us know. Lost in space. About what, brother? That worries me. What's up? Oh, the series then. All right, that last actually gets me a little bit more chilled out. All right. Danger, danger. I love it, brother. Thank you. Oh yeah, I loved that freaking I mean the remake, I don't know why they canceled it. I really was enjoying it. One of my favorite remakes. Oh, nice. Hmm. Absolutely. All right. As always, my friend,